What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another installment of Countdown Scouting Network. I'm your host, Joey Garcia, and today we have day 3 of the Draft Week Bonanza. So today we'll be going through round 5, 6, and 7, doing this mock draft. Towards the end of last night's mock draft, where we did rounds 3 and 4. In that fourth round, it kind of got a little spotty. There were a couple guys we weren't too sure about, so I'm sure it's going to be the same way tonight. But we are going to chug through it and kind of learn about some of these late round players. So I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited. Before we get started, because this is probably going to be a long one, it is 100 picks. So before we get started, I got a couple things I just want to bring up because we are 25 hours away from the start of the NFL draft. So it looks like Jacksonville, from what I was hearing, for the number 1 overall pick, they were still between 3 guys for that number 1 pick. First guy was what the head coach, Doug Peterson, wanted, which is another tackle, Ike Ekwonu. He wanted him at number 1. Shad Khan, the owner, wanted Aiden Hutchinson at number 1, and Trent Baalke, the GM, wants Trayvon Walker at number 1. So there's clashing heads over there at Jacksonville, which is not a very good sign. And then Trent Baalke, the GM, also just went ahead and extended Cam Robinson, the left tackle for Jacksonville, to a 3-year, $54 million deal. So that's $18 million a year on this extension, which is more than Teron Armstead's going to get. I believe it's more than Orlando Brown is making right now. It's more than Taylor Lewan is making. So it's more than a bunch of left tackles are making right now at a high end, too. So I think Trent Baalke's making a statement trying to tell Peterson that we're not going tackle, and I don't think you can go tackle now. So it's between the owner and the GM for either Aiden Hutchinson or Trayvon Walker. And I have a feeling Baalke, the GM, is going to walk out of there with Trayvon Walker and probably get fired after this year. So just dysfunction. It's just dysfunction in Jacksonville. I don't have much else to say about that other than it's just dysfunctional, and that's not a way to run a successful franchise. Let's see. Oh, a couple other things that I've been hearing. And again, it's smokescreen season, 25 hours out. And even today, 48 hours out of the draft. There's a lot of smoke screens that are going to be out there just for people hoping that some prospects that they like drop. So you look at a guy like Evan Neal. Apparently, there's sources saying that he's having some medical issues. They said the same thing last year about a couple players, but there were no real facts to back them up. I think there's a team out there, most likely the Carolina Panthers would be my guess, that are wanting Evan Neal to hopefully drop just a couple spots, just for a couple teams to say, did we check his medicals correctly? Should we take this risk and just hope that Evan Neal falls? Because I think he won't make it to them unless something happens where he falls an extra 1 or 2 spots. So that's something to look out for. George Pickens is another guy who some teams have taken completely off their draft board, just saying that he has attitude issues. He needs to grow up. He is not helping himself with some of the ways he talks, he acts, and some of the situations he puts himself in. So a lot of teams don't really deal with the character concerns, and they'll take you right off the draft board. So I thought he would be, an early second round guy. I thought he would be like the 6th or 7th receiver taken. But if this is true and there's multiple teams, I would assume that's probably about 6 to 10 teams taking him off. I mean, that's 25 to 30% of teams. I could see him dropping to, a late 3rd, early 4th at best. So if you see George Pickens from Georgia end up falling, it's because of the character concerns. So that's something to look out for. Not necessarily tomorrow, but on Friday when you're looking at rounds 2 and 3. If you don't hear George Pickens' name called, and maybe you get a guy like Khalil Shakur going instead, and maybe an Alec Pierce from Cincinnati, that's why. So that's really all I have to say. I'm excited for tomorrow. So let's go ahead and get into this mock draft, because we do have, I believe it's 101 picks is what we're doing today. So let's go ahead. I will share my screen. All right. And so the team we have on the clock right now, Carolina Panthers, their last pick was a couple picks ago, and they took Bailey Zappi, the quarterback out of Western Kentucky. Just a developmental guy, maybe push Sam Darnold, or kind of sit behind maybe Jimmy Garoppolo if they end up trading for him in the middle of the season, and just learning to eventually take over. I have Carson Strong falling just because that knee, and I think Bailey Zappi kind of fits that scheme that they're going to be running a little bit better. So now it's just kind of go best player available. Marcus Jones is still there. I could see us taking Marcus Jones, but the cornerbacks are pretty good with J.C. Horn. They also have C.J. Henderson that they traded for, so maybe you can skip out on that right now. Matt Henningsen from Wisconsin, interior defensive lineman's good. Damone Clark. I want to go Damone Clark on this one. Yeah. So Damone Clark, linebacker from LSU, he had spinal fusion surgery, so he's going to fall a little bit. But to the 5th round, taking a flyer on a guy where if his surgery is successful and he can still play football, using a 5th round pick on a guy who probably should have been the fifth linebacker, taking someone in the middle of the 2nd round. So, it's a swing for the fences, and that's what you're going to do on day 3. Rounds 5, 6, and 7, it's kind of swing for the fences. Hope you land something special, or going after a guy that is going to be a solid special teams contributor. Now going over here to the Denver Broncos, next pick. I could see them taking one of these developmental tackles, but Marcus Jones is sitting there. So we'll go ahead and give them cornerback Marcus Jones from Houston. Now the Jets are on the clock. I know the Jets probably would have loved to get Marcus Jones, but you know what? Let's see who else they have over here. So still have Chase Lucas. I can see Chase Lucas going here. Sam Webb and Zion McCollum. I think we go after Zion McCollum on this one. Take him in the 5th round. He's a stud. I think he's going to be really, really good at the next level. He'll probably be taken. I think he could go in the 4th round, but this 5th, 6th round range is a good spot for him as well. So go ahead and give them Zion McCollum. He's one of my sleepers in this draft, and I really do like him. So Daniel Jones is their quarterback, but I think you get another developmental guy. You get a guy that kind of has the same makeup as Daniel Jones, maybe not as fast, in a vertical direction, but I think he has all the footwork that you can get in the pocket with Cole Kelly here from Southeastern Louisiana. Again, he's a tall quarterback, 6'7", so he really is made up just like Daniel Jones. Could also go Carson Strong here, but I don't know. Carson Strong, if he didn't have the knee concerns, again, I don't know about medicals, but if he didn't have those knee medical concerns, I could see him going probably late 3rd round, early 4th round. So with the knees, I think he'll drop a little further than this. He might not make it out of the 5th round into the 6th round, but I think a couple quarterbacks will be going for him. So go ahead and give him Cole Kelly here. Now we have the Chicago Bears, and we got them some wide receiver help, some offensive line help. Here's a spot where you can go with another running back. It's a new offensive coordinator in there. Maybe he has a different scheme that he wants. But again, I would love to get them another tackle. So get them one of these developmental tackles. Let's go ahead and give them North Dakota State's Cordell Volson. That's an easy fit right there. And then the Panthers are back on the clock. So they got Damone Clark with their next pick. Let's go ahead and get them this interior offensive lineman from Virginia Tech, Lecitus Smith from Virginia Tech. All right. right, we have the Chicago Bears back on the clock again. Um, and again, you are just looking for guys who can crack the 53-man roster here, just to be special teams, developmental guys. I can see them going after Jake Ferguson. They run a spread system, so they're not going to go with Chigo right here. I love Chigo. He can play fullback and tight end. He's a big bowling ball. He's not going to be one of those rangy catching, receiving tight ends, but he has solid hands. I think you go with Jake Ferguson here. I like Jake Ferguson, and think Jake Ferguson will really help out Justin Fields. So give him another weapon that he can kind of dump it down to. The Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons don't really have a quarterback. They have Felipe Franks on the roster. They have Josh Rosen, who probably is going to get cut this year. And then they have Marcus Mariota. I think it's time for us to go ahead and give them a quarterback. So maybe this is Carson Strong. Maybe you go after one of these more developmental guys, like a Caleb Ellaby, EJ Perry. I really like. Skylar Thompson's okay. I think you go Carson Strong here if you want to grab a guy right here. So I could see them grabbing Carson Strong here. I could also see them skipping and going after a Brock Purdy or a Caleb Ellaby. So Akil Glass is not on here, which is a little disappointing because I do like him as a quarterback prospect. I like him more than Anthony Brown. That's not a shot at Anthony Brown. I just like him better than Anthony Brown. So I'm not really sure why he's not there. And maybe you don't go Carson Strong right here because you'll have to change up the entire offense. Right now you have Marcus Mariota, and Carson Strong is not mobile at all. He has a hard time scooting up and maneuvering the pocket. So I don't think that would be the pick here. Maybe Brock Purdy is the pick here. Brock Purdy can do all that stuff. Skylar Thompson can too. So can Jack Cohn. All these guys can do a little bit of what Marcus Mariota does. And again, I don't think they're just going to have their offense tailored to Marcus Mariota. So give me a second. Let's see. Do we have a 6-rounder we can go with? Falcons. Yeah, 190. So let's skip out on quarterback right now. And at 190, we'll go ahead and get a quarterback. So right now it's best player available. Go linebacker, tight end, best player available. Did we go running back? We did. Who was the running back that we went after? Maybe we can look to get another running back off the board here. It wasn't in the 4th round. So we went running back in the 3rd round. Alontae Taylor, the corner. David Bell, the receiver. 2nd round? Isaiah Spiller in the 2nd round. Okay. So we could go ahead and get another running back for them right here, but it's not necessary. So that's good. Maybe you go ahead and get this developmental offensive tackle from North Dakota, Matt Waletzko. I've heard some good things about him. I haven't gotten to watch his tape, but I have heard some good things about him. So let's go ahead and put him there. Maybe he can learn behind Jake Matthews and in 3 years replace him, or he can take over that right side. So let's see. The Seattle Seahawks are on the clock now. Can always help out that offensive line. Can always go ahead and give them a couple more defensive studs. So I like Haskell Garrett here. Let's not overthink the board, right? Let's go ahead and go with one of these better guys. And they're on the clock again. Perfect. Tyrese Robinson. I'm thinking about that pick. They have Matt Corral already. DeMarco Jackson at linebacker. Let's do it. DeMarco Jackson at linebacker. Perfect. Good fit. All right. The Philadelphia Eagles are on the clock now. We went ahead. They had a lot of picks before this. We went ahead and hit a lot of areas of need. We have not gotten them another quarterback. Maybe you go ahead and get them a backup quarterback. They have Gardner Minshew still, but maybe you swing on a guy in the 5th round And if you don't think that Jalen Hurts is the guy, and next year you're going for a quarterback, you can also have a guy kind of compete. And maybe if you see some flashes, and Jalen Hurts isn't doing what you want him to do, maybe you go ahead and put him in there. So again, Carson Strong's a completely different quarterback than what they have in Jalen Hurts. Plus, their run first. He's more of a stretch the field kind of passer. So I don't want to do that. Jack Cohn's not bad. Brock Purdy, Dustin Crump, EJ Perry. So now I think we're gonna wait on quarterback again. We've got multiple picks. Like they got 2 more picks this round. So let's not do that. Let's go ahead and just go best player available. Some offensive tackles. What are we looking at offensive tackle right now? Gene DeLance. Gene DeLance isn't terrible. If he can get some better coaching. But I think he's just so stiff. I don't think he can really do what they need him to do. Max Mitchell, that's the same thing. I like Max Mitchell, but again, I don't think he can bend and do what they're going to want him to do. Let's go ahead and look. Let's go ahead. Where we got at safety? Smoke Monday. Dane Belton. Let's go ahead with Dane Belton. All right, here we go. This is a good spot for Max Mitchell or Gene DeLance to go. I'm going to give them Max Mitchell. I think he has a little bit higher upside than Gene DeLance. Gene DeLance is going to be 25, I believe, at the beginning of the rookie season. So let's go ahead and give them Max Mitchell. He's a younger guy who they can develop. Minnesota Vikings. Here we go. You know what? Let's go ahead and give them Carson Strong. In the 5th round, going ahead and trying for another backup quarterback. He's got a little bit different, or he's got a lot different skill set than Kellen Mond. So now you got Kellen Mond on his 2nd year, trying him out with the new staff, because again, it's a whole new staff that didn't pick Kellen Mond. So now they get their own guy in Carson Strong, a little bit more like Kirk Cousins than Kellen Mond is, but now you got 2 guys in there battling to be the backup and eventual starter with 2 different skill sets as well. So I do like that pick. Now the Jacksonville Jaguars are back on the clock. Again, this team, I would love to get them another tackle. I just don't see where one can go at this point. They're kind of in that scenario where there's, I don't know. I got nothing to really say at this point. Gene DeLance maybe, but again, you've got 2 guys fighting out for your right tackle spot, and apparently your left tackle is just being given to Cam Robinson. Toby says take another running back. That's what they'd probably do. That's taking a shot at Urban Meyer for taking Travis Etienne last year in the 1st round, even though they had a Pro Bowl undrafted free agent running back in James Robinson. Luckily, Trent Baalke is actually apparent. I don't even know who's making the picks, right? Because Trent Baalke was the GM last year, but still let Urban Meyer make all the picks. This year, Trent Baalke's the GM, but apparently he's going against what Doug Peterson wants. So who's making the picks right here? You know, I don't know. It's a little frustrating. What Daniel Bellinger look like? 6'4", 252, Y flexed out F, inline tight end. Nice. Okay, so right now they have Dan Arnold as their number 1 tight end. I don't know if they have another tight end on that roster. Maybe Tim Tebow makes another appearance. Chase Lucas. Let's give him Chase Lucas. I like Chase Lucas. Okay, what's their name? New England Patriots are on the clock. Look at this. We're already 12 picks in. Doing a pretty good job. 12 picks in. All right. Next team is the New England Patriots. Again, I I don't know exactly what they would be looking for here. They've got a couple tight ends on the roster. They told their fullback, who was a pretty good fullback, they cut him and said they weren't going to be using a fullback anymore. So I would go Chigo here, but apparently they're not using a fullback. They've got two good tight ends on their roster, so I don't see him making a crack at the roster. Plus, you're not really going to use him in special teams, so we'll skip that. Um, they could go ahead and get another running back because they love getting day 3 running backs, but I don't think so. What are we looking like with edge? Because they are hurting on edge right now. Mari Barno. I just don't know if he'll fit in there. No, actually. Let's do it. Let's do Amari Barno from Virginia Tech. He's a hybrid edge. I think he can kind of fit what they're looking for in a guy because they play multiple defensive fronts. So in worst case, he can play on special teams a little bit. Indianapolis Colts. I would love to get them another receiver. What are we looking like for safeties? Let's look at receivers. Justin Ross. I like Justin Ross. He's got a little injury issue, and he came back slow. Looks like he kind of lost a step. I don't know. Romeo Dubs is probably the guy. Or Samori Torre from Nebraska. It just kind of depends on what you want. I think they know Paris Campbell's not the guy, so I know they would love to get a burner. There's just no burners really left. Let's go ahead and get Romeo Dubs in here. Okay. I could see Justin Ross go here and work on his route running, but I just don't know. I don't know, honestly, if Justin Ross gets drafted, I don't see him getting drafted. With all the wide receivers, yes, on day 3, the wide receivers do kind of get a little pick your poison with them. It's not as deep as last year with day 3 wide receivers, but I mean, I would take Dontario Drummond before I took Justin Ross. Justin Ross is he's a big body. He was a good pass catcher, but he was just so slow. And I feel like coming out of that back injury that he had, I don't know if he's going to come back the same. So I might not draft him. If I do, it'll be in the 7th round in this mock draft. So I just want to put that out there why I keep skipping up on him. What are we looking like at defensive line? There we go. Matt Henningsen from Wisconsin. All right, Saints. This is where we'll take a quarterback. I like this pick. They took a quarterback, I believe it was 3rd round last year, in Ian Book. I can see them taking another quarterback here. Again, it's a new offense. It's a new head coach with a new offensive coordinator. So I could see them taking another quarterback here just because right now they've got Jameis and then they have Ian Book. And I believe that's it. I can't think of another quarterback on their roster. I know Taysom Hill, they said they want him to strictly stick with being a tight end. So right now I'm looking at Brock Purdy. I'm not really looking at Jack Cohn. I'm looking at EJ Perry. I think I want to take EJ Perry here. EJ Perry from Brown. They had him listed way down there because I believe they didn't have all his stuff scouted and in there. I've scouted him some. I haven't done a full-blown scouting report on him, but I liked him enough where I think he's going to be a solid day 3 guy. I think he could be an eventual starter, but most likely he's just going to be a solid backup like a Chase Daniels or I want to say Ryan Fitzpatrick, but Ryan Fitzpatrick was good enough to start for almost 75% of his career, I think. So Eagles are back on the clock. I want to go running back again, but they already took a running back. I don't even remember who it was, but I feel like it was like a Kyron Williams or something. So yeah, I don't think they'll take another running back. Maybe you take Terrell Bernard from Baylor. Maybe. Because right now, we've hit on everything that they really would need. So now you're just looking special teams. Maybe Tyson Anderson, the safety from Toledo. You've hit on everything that they would need. Now it's just looking for guys that'll be special teams guys, as well as maybe, maybe being a developmental guy. So I like Charlie Kolar right here, tight end from Iowa State. To be the number 2 behind Dallas Goedert. They can run some 2 tight end sets as well. So I'm not concerned about that. I think I might take Charlie Kolar right here. I think he does a lot better in the blocking game than what Dallas Goedert does, and he's also a decent receiver as well. So I think that's a good 1-2 punch at tight end right there. The Jets are back on the clock. They can go ahead and take anyone they want. I think Daniel Bellinger is a good pickup right here. I also want to give them another running back. I want to see. All right, going to my picks isn't going to help. I want to see what running back we went ahead and gave them yesterday. Hassan Haskins. Okay. I like that. Hassan Haskins. So maybe you go ahead and get another running back too. Someone that kind of mirrors more of what they would do. Mirrors more of what Michael Carter does. Someone like Jerrion Ealy. He didn't run as well as I thought he would, though. Tyler Goodson. I like Tyler Goodson. I think I want to give him Tyler Goodson right here. Let me look at the corner. No, let me look at the interior offensive lineman we have left. But I think it's gonna be Tyler Goodson unless I find someone. Cade Mays. Yeah, let me go ahead and get Cade Mays. We were very close on getting that running back. Who is at Las Vegas right now for running backs? They've got Josh Jacobs and they have Kenyon Drake, but Drake broke his leg. So maybe you get a guy who can do what Kenyon Drake did, being kind of a change of pace home run hitter. So let's give him Jerome Ford. I think Jerome Ford fits that offense beautifully. And then we can go ahead and just give them... What else? Tyrese Robinson, maybe? That's where I'm looking right now is Tyrese Robinson, Terrell Bernard. Yeah, let's just go ahead. Tyrese Robinson. Give him another interior offensive lineman. All right, back on the clock here. Go ahead and get quarterback if we want. I did say we were probably going to go ahead and get quarterback later, didn't I? That was the Falcons I was talking about. Okay. Yeah, so I think you go ahead and get a developmental quarterback. I don't think Derek King's worth drafting. Skylar Thompson, maybe. Caleb Ellaby, I do like. Dustin Crum, I hear he has character concerns. Brock Purdy, okay. I want to go with Caleb Ellaby. Again, this is a lot of fifth-round quarterbacks. I don't know how many will go in the fifth round, but this quarterback draft is not the greatest. But there are a couple day 3 guys who I think could make a long-term backup quarterback, maybe develop into something. I think Caleb Ellaby is one of those guys that I would just throw a dart at and see if it sticks. So I like that pickup right there. Now we can go ahead to the Dallas Cowboys. Again, I would love to help out this secondary a little bit more. I would even be okay getting another safety, just because I know who'd we get. We got I think like Petrie or someone like that, someone that can come and play corner. So we're not necessarily needing to get corner, but I want to go Sam Webb. I like Mario Goodrich. Um, Again, I haven't fully scouted these guys like really at all, so I'm gonna pass them up for a guy that I do like, Sam Webb from Missouri Western. Again, he's one of those guys that I think you didn't hear of him on Saturdays, but all of a sudden you'll hear his name on Sundays. So worst case, he's a special teamer, and maybe he comes in you know in a dire situation. But I think he can make the rotation. Maybe not his first year, but his second year. So that's a guy to look out for. Joshua, Chris Paul. I would like to give them Chigo. Let's give him Chigo. I don't know if they'd be able to use him that well, but I like him, and I think they could figure out a way to use him. All right, we can go ahead and go with Terrell Bernard right here. This is like a nice plug and play for Tennessee Titans. Now the New England Patriots are back on the clock at pick 170. Quandre White is on the board. Again, they've got Damian Harris, Ramondre Stevenson, and James White. How about let's try to get a guy who can replace James White eventually. Let's go Jerrion Ely. I think he could be a nice James White replacement. It's either him or Tyler Goodson. I'm going with Ely. Again, he was a two-sport guy at Ole Miss. He played baseball as well. Super twitchy player. He's not the biggest guy, but when you watch him on tape, you can't really tell that he's so small because he breaks tackles from SEC defensive linemen, SEC linebackers. He shrugs off these tackles at 100. I think he's like 185 pounds. I would love for him, since he's not playing baseball anymore, I'd love for him to put on 10 to 15 pounds. But again, he's about 5'7", 5'8". So if he's 5'8", 195, I think that's a really good weight for him. So hopefully he can put on about 10 pounds. But I really like him. And if he goes there, I think that's a really good spot for him to go. So, all right. We got the Green Bay Packers up on the clock right now. We could always go ahead and give them more receivers. I would not be opposed to that. We're not going with a tight end just because we're assuming Darren Waller is going to be there. So Samori Toure is the guy I'm going to put here. I think he's got enough speed and enough route running ability to kind of make a difference on that offense. Maybe not necessarily take over the Marquise Valdez-Scantling role, but kind of have a piece of that role. San Francisco 49ers are back on the clock now. Again, this is not the most exciting mock draft for probably about 99% of you out there. And even for me, it's not the most exciting, but this is where GMs and scouts make their bread and butter. When you go and find a guy like a George Kittle in the 5th round, or in the 4th round, finding a guy like Dak Prescott, and all of a sudden Tony Romo goes down and you replace him with a 4th round quarterback, and next thing you know, he's the highest paid quarterback in the league before Patrick Mahomes. And you find a guy like Stephon Diggs in the 5th round. Tyreek Hill again was in the 5th round. Like, there are guys that you find in day 3 that maybe they're not going to be superstars. Maybe they'll just be like a Shaq Mason offensive lineman. Again, was a 5th round pick, and he played well. So you can just get rotational pieces in the 5th, 6th, 7th round, these day 3, and that's how you build your team. So I understand it's not the flashy picks, but these picks are important nonetheless. What's Joshua Ezeudu look like? 6'4", 230, 325. Excuse me, Chris Paul. 6'4", 325. That's a good. I like the school he went to. They're gonna run the same kind of wide zone concept. He's gonna need the guards to be as athletic. So that's a good transition right there. New York Giants. Let's see, what can we do? We can give them another tight end. Who do we have left in tight ends, though? Austin Allen, Jalen Watermeyer, probably not getting drafted. Daniel Bellinger, Garrett Prince. What's Garrett Prince looking like? Wide out, turn to tight end. Yeah, I like that. All right, we'll go ahead and give them Garrett Prince. Kind of will be like the Eric Ebron, except, Evan Ingram, except maybe he can catch the ball a little bit better. I'm not sure, but go ahead and do that. What do we got at corners? Got any corners left over? Mario Goodrich. Let's go ahead, give him Mario Goodrich. All right, Los Angeles Rams back on the clock for their third pick in this draft. We can go ahead and just give them anyone. Most likely, these picks might not do anything for their team. They might end up just trading it, but maybe. Ooh. That's interesting. Cap control. I kind of like this guy. Yeah, let's go ahead and give them Esezi Otomiwo from edge rusher from Minnesota. He's got good size on him too, so I like that pick. Here we go. We can go ahead and give them Bo Melton. There we go, from Rutgers. Wide receiver from Rutgers, Bo Melton. Okay, go ahead and give them Daniel Bellinger. Let's go ahead and get him off there from San Diego State, tight end. I think he can do something for them. And now the Dallas Cowboys are back on the clock. What would you do if you were the Dallas Cowboys right here? Let's go ahead and get another interior offensive lineman. This man from North Dakota. I think that's a good pick right there. That's Joshua Azidu from North Dakota. I think that's a pretty good pick there, even though I don't know the guy at all. Jaquandre White. Be a nice, number 3 running back. Yeah, let's go ahead and give him Jaquandre White. He kind of can be a spell back for Jonathan Taylor. I think they can kind of do the same things. Obviously not as well as Jonathan Taylor, but I think they both have the same kind of running style. So Jacksonville Jaguars back on the clock. We can go ahead and give them a tight end. We can go ahead and give them a receiver. Go ahead and give them a tackle. Let's go ahead and give them a receiver. What about Reggie Roberson? I like Reggie Roberson from SMU. I think that's a good fit right there. I think he can learn from, Marvin Jones. So I don't know if he makes a difference in year 1. Maybe he can return some kicks if Agnew isn't there again this year. But I think he's probably a guy. Again, it's the 6th round now. I think he's probably a guy that maybe sits on the practice squad, possibly returns kicks, but most likely is just a practice squad guy. All right, you need some more kneecap biters. I think Caleb Evans. Let's see what he does. He's a physical guy on the perimeter. Ooh, yes. This man from Missouri, cornerback, he is going to the kneecap biting capital of the entire US of A, Dan Campbell's Detroit Lions. Welcome to the squad. Now at pick 182, we've got the New York Giants back up on the clock. I would love to give them Smoke Monday here. I think he kind of fits, but let me just look into Tyson Anderson. For something's telling me. It's intriguing mid-round. Sub-package linebacker, special teams cover player. He's a big nickel. Ooh. I like the big nickel. I do. I kind of want to give them Tyson Anderson now. I just don't know if they'll be able to. Yeah, they'll use that big nickel. Here we go. Tyson Anderson. Welcome to the squad, mate. Now the Houston Texans. Again, let's just go ahead and get a guy that works hard. 6'5". He's going to be 23 years old. Carries his weight well. Not stress test outside on the perimeter, so he's functional mobility. He's chippy. Ooh, I like that. All right, go ahead and get him, and he can back up Laramie Tunsil for a little bit. Maybe take over for him in a couple years. If not, he could just end up being a long-term swing tackle. I like what I read about him, even though I read very quickly. Do like what I read about him. Justin Ross. I think we'll go ahead and give him here. I know I said that I wasn't gonna, pick Justin Ross until the 7th round, but I don't know. Something's telling me this fit is just too good. It's just staring me in the face. So Justin Ross, there you go. You're at the Minnesota Vikings now. Learn behind Thielen, and maybe crack the roster. Buffalo Bills are back on the clock. Let's see what they can take. I think Smoke Monday is a guy that they would really love. So we'll go ahead and give him Smoke Monday. All right, the Chicago Bears are now on the clock. It's just defense, man. Let's go ahead and just go with defense. Who do we want? It doesn't really matter. Micah McFadden. I like that. Give me Micah McFadden. San Francisco 49ers on the clock. Let's go ahead and help them out with defense as well. Zacoby McClain. Yeah, let's go ahead and give him Zacoby McClain from Auburn, linebacker from Auburn. Jacksonville Jaguars are now on the clock. What do we have at tight ends? Jalen Wydermyer. For some reason, I feel like they'll take him. I don't want them to. And he doesn't fit their athlete over everything. Where's Lucas Kroll? Right there. We'll give him Lucas Kroll. I feel like they would like Lucas Kroll. Washington Commanders. I want to give him a running back here. Somebody like Zonovan Knight. Yeah, let's go ahead and give him Zonovan Knight. Kind of a third down guy. Because for some reason they don't want to give the third down work to Antonio Gibson, even though he caught more passes than he tried rushing at Memphis. So I don't understand that, but we'll go ahead and do that. Unless you want to get an in-between the tackles guy to kind of keep Antonio Gibson from getting banged up as much. If you do that, that's Tyler Algier. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's get an in-between the tackles guy. I want to go ahead and get another running back here. I know they have Mike Davis, who's on his last legs. I know they have – do they still have Cordero Patterson? I don't know if they re-signed him or not. I feel like they did. And I know we drafted a running back for them as well. But, again, it was – who was it? We literally just drafted one for the Falcons. Am I tripping? Let's see. Who did we get for the Falcons? We're in round 3 already. Did we really draft one this high? Oh, it was Isaiah Spiller in the 2nd round. Now I remember. It was Isaiah Spiller in the 2nd round. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a change of pace type back. Isaiah Spiller, 2nd round. How about Tyler Goodson right here? Yeah. Let's do it. Tyler Goodson. All right. The Minnesota Vikings are on the clock. Oh, you know what? That pick was going to be quarterback. I remember. We said pick 190 was going to be quarterback, and I just forgot because we're flying through. That sucks. It looks like they don't have another pick. That's okay. We'll go ahead and give them a pick right. Oh, well. That sucks. My bad. The Vikings have 2 picks here. They don't need both these picks. Let's go ahead and trade one out. Minnesota Vikings. Not the Texans. We want the Falcons. So it's Falcons, Vikings. Oh, the Falcons have another pick. Perfect. Okay. We'll go ahead and have the Minnesota Vikings trade back. Doesn't matter. Just going to have them trade back. There we go. Awesome. So look at that. The Falcons are back on the clock. Let's go ahead and get them a quarterback before these are all gone. Again, they are kind of all gone. Maybe Jack Cohn. I think the next best person, Jack Cohn or Brock Purdy. I like Brock Purdy. Sometimes he makes stupid mistakes. I would take him over Jack Cohn though, especially this late. Just someone that you can maybe develop into not making stupid reads. Because I remember watching Justin Herbert, and I was like, yeah, he's good. He's got a rocket cannon. He's super strong. He's mobile. But sometimes he just makes bonehead reads and just for some reason puts balls in weird spots where it goes straight to the corner and you don't even really know why. And Brock Purdy does the same thing but worse. So maybe he can get that out of him because Justin Herbert looks like he did. So we'll go ahead and give him Brock Purdy. In worst case, you use a 6th-round pick on a guy, and you're going ahead and drafting a quarterback next year. All right. The Minnesota Vikings are on the clock now. They've already got their developmental quarterback. So let's go ahead and help out this defense a little bit. Cornerback, Jack Jones. Monteric Brown. He can play some man-to-man, but he's a zone guy. Let's go ahead and bring him over there. Perfect. Dallas Cowboys. What's James Mitchell looking like at tight end? Basketball guy. Ooh. All right, we'll go ahead and give them James Mitchell. All right, pick 194. Pick 194. We have the New Orleans Saints. They can really do whatever they want right here. Well, let's target what we want. Do we want to go after Chris Owens? I don't think so. I want to go after a guy that we can get something out of them. What about Cade Hall from San Jose State? It's more of a 4-3 guy. All right, let's do it. Let's go ahead and do Cade Hall. I don't care. All right. Who we still have left out here at running back? Tyrion Davis Price, Abram Smith, Devontae Price, Kevin Harris, Donovan Knight. I could see Isaiah Pachinko. TJ Pleasure's another one. All these guys have their spots, right? And are you looking for someone that can replace Austin Eckler when he goes down, like a pass catching back? Or are you looking for a guy that can go between the tackles and let him take some plays off? Because I know you got Larry Roundtree there. I think you have Justin Jackson there still. Maybe it's a guy to replace Justin Jackson. If so, I would go with either Abram Smith or Devontae Price. I will go with Devontae Price. Right? Yeah, let's do it. Let's go with Devontae Price. All right, pick 196. We have the Baltimore Ravens up on the clock. Who do we still have left at linebackers is a good question. Kyron Johnson. James Skalski. Ooh, Clemson, man. Nefi Sewell. Diego Fago. Let's look up at the top a little bit more. What What about safeties? What do we got as safety? Reed Blankenship. Reed Blankenship. There's another guy. Wanye Thomas, Reed Blankenship. Both guys I could definitely see. Let's go Wanye. I think he's more physical and can come down in the box more. I think that's kind of what they'd be looking for. Jacksonville Jaguars up on the clock. You can go ahead and get them anything. So let's look at best available, and let's just see what we got here. We got Jack Jones still. Eric Ezukanum, wide receiver from Texas Tech. 62209. All right. Nothing really good on there. That's awesome. Austin Allen. Did we go ahead and get them a tight end? We did. Elijah Hicks. Here we go. Mike Hartley. Let's go ahead and give him Mike Hartley. He's a wide receiver from Miami. I don't know if he'll stick here. I really don't. This is just a shot in the dark. He's an explosive guy. He can make some good athletic catches. So we'll go ahead and give them him. And they're back on the clock again. So how about Sterling Weatherford, safety from Miami of Ohio? Oh, he's a big box safety. Look at that. Sub package, sub box. Ooh. Yeah. I mean, shoot. They've got that already. So I don't think they'll go ahead and get him. But I'm very intrigued by that player. What about Logan Bruss? He can play guard and tackle. He's a volunteer, good member of the community. I can see him getting drafted up here. Let's go ahead and give him Logan Bruss. Okay. Here we go. Another wide receiver can go here. Maybe even one of these cornerbacks like Jack Jones. It's going to be he's got outside-inside versatility. There we go. Jack Jones. Welcome to the squad. I don't know if you'll make the squad just because their corners are pretty decent. But I'm sure moving him inside, since he's got that inside versatility, I think he could have success sticking on that roster. So, yeah, here we go. This is where Sterling Weatherford's going to go. He's going to go to the New England Patriots, where they can use him as a weapon on this defense. As a Dolphins fan, I would not like to see this happen, but I could definitely see them taking him. So there we go. What about Josh Thompson? He's a cover 2, cover 3 guy, zone defender, open run support. There we go. That's a good spot here. We just got lucky on that one, but yeah, that's a good spot for their cover 3 in Arizona. So Josh Thompson from Texas. Welcome to the Arizona Cardinals. Again, we could go more corners. Let's see who we've got, though. Josh Jobe from Alabama. Darion Kendrick. Let's go Josh Jobe from Alabama. And here, Buffalo. What do we have at tackle left? Gene DeLance is still there. I think they could make Gene DeLance work. I like that fit. Let's go ahead and give him Gene DeLance. Tennessee Titans are on the clock. Go ahead with a defensive player. Or actually, I like Chris Owens. Yeah, let's go ahead and give him Chris Owens here. I like the scheme fit. He fits what they want, especially as an interior guy. He's not going to play tackle like he played at Alabama. He'll play inside. Let's look at these safeties that we have left. Reed Blankenship. Let's go ahead and give him Reed Blankenship. Super athletic guy. I'm sure they could use him over there in the Lovie Smith defense. All right, Denver Broncos. Let's go ahead and give them another wide receiver. This is just going to be a complimentary guy, most likely either develops into something or nothing. Charleston Rambo, someone that sticks out here. Ontario Drummond is another one from Ole Miss. Jareth Stearns. Michael Woods from Oklahoma. Yeah, let's go ahead and give him Michael Woods from Oklahoma. Again, the Houston Texans are on the clock. And again, it's just let's go take best player available. I don't really know much about this man. He's a big slot receiver, makes difficult catches. All right, middle of the field. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and pull the trigger. All right, the Pittsburgh Steelers are on the clock. And again, let's go ahead and get a guy who we can develop or just know that it's a guy that can be a great special teamer. So, good athlete. Again, core special teamer. That's something you want to look for. So, that's it. Plus, they could use safety depth. So, he might end up being a guy that gets some work too, not just a special teamer. Mike Rose is a guy. Could go here. Let's keep looking. Alex Wright out of UAB. Nope. All right. We will go with Mike Rose from Iowa State, linebacker. We are flying through these picks. I'm loving it. I'm loving it, loving it, loving it. We still got 45 picks left, but we've gone through 55 in about 45 minutes. So maybe we go another 30 minutes and we'll be done. And then we'll be ready for tomorrow. That's what it's all about, is getting ready for the draft this weekend. Whether you're going to your parents' house, you're going to a friend's house, you're going to a bar, you'll know some of these names. So on Saturday, and day 3 comes around and you see one of these names pop up, you say, oh yeah, I've heard of that guy. He's a nice big nickel linebacker, a big nickel safety. You can kind of say a little something that we've all learned here today. So let's go with the New England Patriots. I would love to get them another interior defensive lineman. I think this defensive line is not as good as it usually is. LeBron Ray, Kalia Davis. I think he has some attitude issues, so I don't think they go with him. Maybe LeBron Ray, depending on what Nick Saban says. I know they're good friends and they talk, but yeah, I think let's go with LeBron Ray. Wuzariki. Yeah, let's go with him. For the defending Super Bowl champions, let's go ahead and get them a nice big athlete in the middle of their defense and see what they can get out of him. All right, they are back on the clock, so we can go linebacker. What do we have at linebacker? There's I think they can go ahead and get James Houston there, but right now James Houston is not on this chart. So let's go ahead and give him Sewell, an athletic linebacker from Utah. No, I would really love to go ahead and give them James Houston right here, but James Houston is sadly not on this list. So we'll just have to go ahead and give them someone else. Of course, there's no analysis on some of these players, so we really are just looking at some of this stuff. We'll go ahead with this Arizona State linebacker and just pretend he's James Houston. All right, going to the Minnesota Vikings. Again, they can really go anywhere in the trenches. So let's look at defensive ends. Alex Wright. Yeah, let's give him Alex Wright. All right. What do we have at safeties left still? Bubba Bolden from Miami. Nick Grant. Elijah Hicks. Yeah, let's go ahead and give him I was going to say let's give him another versatile guy. They got Trent McDuffie as well, who can kind of do this same stuff, but never hurts to have another guy. Here we go. The Cardinals. Let's go ahead and give them a backup quarterback. I want to give them a guy that can kind of run this system. Only guy like that would be maybe Dustin Crum from Kent State. We'll go ahead and give him Dustin Crum from Kent State. Here we go. So we have the Indianapolis Colts on the clock. Let's just give him Donovan West from Arizona State, interior offensive lineman. Zone blocking, which is what they run. Perfect. Look at that. Good scheme fit. Now we go with the Detroit Lions. And a guy I really want to give to them is Jeremiah Moon. So we'll go ahead and do that. Jeremiah Moon, edge from Florida. He can play up top if you need him to play stand-up, but he can also play down at the edge. So I think he fits them very well. Los Angeles Rams are back on the clock. Let's go ahead and look at these running backs and see what we've got. So we could go ahead and give him a Zonovan Knight to be a nice third down to help out with Cam Akers. You could also give them an Isaiah Pacheco, who is going to be a burner, kind of a change of pace guy. I know Cam Akers has burst, and he has good enough speed to get away from some of these guys. But I think he could help out with that. Also, you want some guys that'll just be kind of the in between the tackles. You got Abram Smith and Tyrion Davis Price from LSU. Let's go ahead and give him. I think Abram Smith kind of can do the most out of all these guys. So we'll go ahead and give him Abram Smith. Isaiah Pacheco was very close to being the pick. Now we go to Tennessee Titans. And I could definitely see them going with a Jeremiah Moon here too. Let's look at what we've got. Really just help out on the defense however we can. Should be the pick right here. So let's look at some of these defensive backs. A couple linebackers. Darion Kendrick is nice. I think that's the pick. Let's not get too fancy with it. San Francisco, I would love to get them another quarterback. I would love to get them another one. Maybe Jack. I think Jack Cohn would be the only one that you would go here. I think they could go Akil Glass. He's not on here, so we'll go ahead and give him Jack Cohn. And then with this next pick, Mike Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas fit them? Not really. Not really, huh? There we go. Christopher Allen. I could see them taking a guy like Christopher Allen. Let's go ahead and give him Christopher Allen. All right, now with the Jacksonville Jaguars, it looks like they've got all the guys that they've got guys at positions that they need. Let's see. Strong safety, big nickel from Miami. Florida. From Palms Beach Garden. Thick frame. Cover 3 too high. Tampa 2. I could see them again. Worst case, he's a special teamer for you, but I could see them using him. Okay, let's look at some tight ends here. I know we see Austin Allen right there. What kind of other guys do we have right here? So I like Cole Turner, Austin Allen from Nebraska. Receiving target. His potential as a blocker, but natural leverage at the point of attack. It's never going to beat the strength. Again, because he's 6'8". Jesus. He is 6'8". Yeah, I like that. Go ahead and do that. Miami Dolphins are back on the clock. Right now they've got a center prospect and Alec Lindstrom and linebacker. I don't know who they took at linebacker, but they got a linebacker. So it's running back here. It's running back all the way. Sadly, oh man, Jermaine Martin, Tyrion Davis-Price. Oh goodness, man, they really messed up. There's really no one here. I guess Tyrion Davis-Price is the pick. I think it's got to be running back right here though. So go ahead and do that. Pittsburgh Steelers on the clock. What do we got at wide receivers? Charleston Rambo, Kevin Austin from Notre Dame. What did he run? I just want to know what his 40 time was. Shoot, I think he fits there. I do. I understand they got Chase Claypool there, and he's from Notre Dame, and that's not why I'm saying this. Actually, let's give him Dontario Drummond. How about that? I like that a little bit better. All right. The Bengals are on the clock. What do we have at interior defensive line? If not, we're going to go wide receiver. Kalia Davis is still on the clock. Eric Johnson, DJ Davidson. A little light. No, thank you. Ooh. Yes, please. Yeah, we'll give him Humphrey. Tylen Humphrey from Louisiana. Okay, we will give them Eric Johnson from Missouri State. Again, let's go another defensive tackle. We will go Kalia Davis from UCF. And let's look at some edge guys. Oh, Jeffrey Gunter. High percentage of run plays, 3-4 outside linebacker, and team wants their edge defender to set hard edge to stop the run. Yeah, I like that. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, Dolphins have one more pick. I was just looking through to see what kind of picks the Dolphins have left, because if that's what their draft class is going to look like, I'm going to be very disappointed as a Dolphins fan. So, but we will see. All right, what kind of quarterbacks do we still have available in this 7th round? How long have we been doing the 7th round now? Just a couple picks. All right. Skylar Thompson. His accuracy issues are a little bit of a problem, but he's a mobile enough guy. I like that. Let's go ahead and do that there. This corner from Houston. I understand that we've already filled the corner need, but I like this corner. I like this guy. I think we're going to go ahead and do that. Play inside, can be a rotational guy on the defense, and worst case, he is a special teamer. So We can go ahead and get a developmental offensive lineman right here. And again, we could also just get a special teamer. So let's look at some of these offensive linemen at tackle. This guy from Fordham. Yeah, that was easy enough. I'm just looking for smaller school names right now. And I like that one a lot. All right, let's go to the defensive side. What do we got left at linebackers? Chance Campbell is still there. Trey Walker from Idaho. Let's go Trey Walker. Okay. The Denver Broncos back on the clock. So again, we can go developmental offensive lineman. Let's look inside this time. Jack Snyder. Positional versatility. And again, he can fit this scheme a little bit. So Jack Snyder. So we just got 2 developmental guards right there. And Nick Zeckel. Oh, I don't know how to say his name. From Fordham, and Jack Snyder from San Jose State. Now, shoot. Let's go with another defensive lineman here. Again, developmental is what we're looking for. I think Tagovailoa Amosa is a guy who can kind of develop a little bit more. Isaiah Thomas from Oklahoma. Let's go Isaiah Thomas from Oklahoma. We can go wide receiver here. Could also get another edge guy. I think Big Cat Bryant is a good edge guy for them. Someone that they're not expecting to do anything at this moment, but he might be able to get some technique taught by some of these other guys like Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa. So let's look. What can we do here? I would love to get another offensive lineman, but these tackles are most likely not going to stay tackles. Let's see, maybe we get Vrabel's kid. Is Vrabel passed up on him? Good size, zone blocking. Yeah, let's do it. Who was that? Bam. Let's go ahead and put Bam on the team. All right, I want to do another secondary player. All right, let's go ahead with this guy from a small school I've never heard of before. All right, the Washington Commanders back up on the clock. Let's see who we have here. This Penn State cornerback, 6'1", almost 200 pounds. Yeah, he looks like he could work in this this defense. So we'll go ahead and do that. The Indianapolis Colts are now on the clock. And again, we can go ahead and really do anything we'd like here. So let's go to all. And what's Malcolm Rodriguez look like? 5'11", 230. Kinley, 5'11", 193. 2 deep safety. There we go. Oregon safety Verone McKinley III going to the Indianapolis Colts. Pittsburgh Steelers are back on the clock. You can go ahead with an interior offensive lineman or a special team / defensive developmental guy. So Aaron Hansford, 6'2", 240, 6-year senior. No, thank you. Malcolm Rodriguez, 5'11", 232. I don't have any more about him, so that does not help. Chance Campbell, 6'2", 233. Significant athlete. Mostly a 4-3 defender. Limited upside. keep going. I would love to get another Zachary Thomas, maybe. 6'5", 308, significant athlete. Zone blocking. Let's go ahead and give them another interior offensive lineman to work with. Most likely he will not make the roster, but give him a puncher's chance, right? All right, going into Carolina Panthers, we can go ahead and get them another running back, right? CMC is there. Chuba Hubbard is there. Isaiah Pacheco could be another Chuba Hubbard. I think he could be a better Chuba Hubbard. Kevin Harris is another guy. I think he's more of a in-between the tackles type guy. I know Chuba Hubbard has kind of been frustrating. So we'll go ahead and give him Kevin Harris from South Carolina. Just a guy who you hope makes the roster as your number 3 running back. Again, the Chiefs are on the clock. We can really do anything we want here. You just want to get a developmental guy. You got a run stopper in DJ Davidson, Chris Hinton. Again, another run stopper. It's a 2-gapper. Let's go ahead and give him Christian Hinton. Neil Farrell. Ooh, I like that. Interior offensive lineman. Let's go ahead. Let's try to give him a developmental offensive lineman. Let's see what happens. Swing tackle. You want to give him a swing tackle? Sure. From Arizona State, Kellen Desch. All right, Pittsburgh Steelers are back up on the clock. Who did we almost give them last time? I don't even recall. Let's look at linebackers. Let's look at edge rushers. Let's look at interior defensive linemen. DJ Davidson. Perfect. Bam. All right. Hey, we are only 11 picks away from completing this mock draft. So right now, I just want to say thank you guys for watching all 3 days of this mock draft. I know it was long. I know it wasn't the most exciting at some points. I know I probably could have been more excited about some of these picks, but I appreciate you guys taking the ride with me. We'll go ahead and finish this out, and then tomorrow I'll see you guys at 7:45. So that's going to be exciting. I'm really excited about that. So next pick, we'll go Neil Farrell from LSU, interior defensive lineman for the Cleveland Browns. All right. So Miami Dolphins are back up on the clock. Who do we have at corner? Isaiah Taylor Stewart. Jacoby Durant. Ooh, Jacoby Durant. I would love to see Jacoby Durant. He could play the nickel for us a little bit. Another guy I'd really like to see is Marquise Bell. Let's go ahead. I mean, there's not a tackle here that I would really want. There's not an edge rusher here that I would really want. Just being straight up like Miami Dolphins right now, I want to pick right with them. I go to Jacoby Durant. I could also go with Marquise Bell. I just got to try to figure out which one's going to be better for me. Jacoby Durant can develop and take over next year at one of these corner positions. So we'll go ahead and go with Jacoby Durant. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are on the clock. And again, let's go with one of these running backs. Zonovan Knight would be different than Fournette and Keyshawn Vaughn. Isaiah Pacheco also But Jaysean Corbin. I'm going Jaysean Corbin right here. Safety. I want to get Marquise Bell drafted, so we'll go ahead and draft him. I think he's good enough to get drafted. I think he'll be a solid contributor on one of these teams. Bubba Bolden as well. I think this is where you'll see kind of a run on safeties. Again, you can get another safety right here. We got a corner left. What else do we have? Maybe Cole Turner. Yeah, let's go with Cole Turner at tight end. I know we already got a tight end for them, and I know they have, but again, we got their tight end, I think, in like the 3rd round. So just getting another developmental tight end never hurt anyone. All right. Let's go wide receivers. Who we have left at wide receivers that I think could get drafted? Let's go ahead. What about Braylon Sanders? Makai Polk. Yeah, we're going to go Makai Polk. Next, another safety. Did I already give up Marquise Bell? I did. That's all right. What about Leon O'Neal? Nick Grant. You can play that high. Yeah. All right. Let's do Nick Grant. All right. Let's just look through. Who do we have? So, De'Aaron King didn't get drafted. That's okay. Isaiah Pacheco didn't get drafted. Zonathan Knight. Cameron Harris. Master Teague. Jermaine Martin. I like Jermaine Martin. I feel like he should get drafted. I know we already drafted a running back, but we drafted him in, the 6th round? Yeah, who did we end up drafting for them? I know we got them a running back. Yeah, Devontae Price. So you go with 2 running backs here, Jermaine Martin and Devontae Price. I think that's pretty good. Actually, let's just keep looking through. Hold on. What's it looking like at tight end? Anyone sticking out? Nick Muse. Monty Rogers. What's our Monty Rogers looking like? Yeah, receiving tight end. All right, well, let's go with one of these wide receivers. Charleston Rambo, Kevin Austin, Trey Turner. Let's go with Kevin Austin here. Next pick, we'll go with the lineman. Go with Vrabel's kid. And then final pick, Mr. Irrelevant. Let's look at safeties. Who do we have left? Leon O'Neal. Perfect. Or do we get them another running back? No. Leon O'Neal. Perfect. All right. So we just completed a 7-round mock draft. Honestly, that was the first time I have ever. Here, I'll stop sharing my screen. That was the first time I've ever done a full 7 rounds at one time. And again, it was over 3 days, but it was the first time I've ever done a 7-round mock draft. It was a lot. There were a lot of frustrating points where I would have hoped that I would know more of the day 3 guys. And I just didn't, but I mean, that's to be expected. A lot of them were from smaller schools, and so maybe I haven't watched them. Plus, the day 3 guys don't really get talked about as much on the draft shows or anything. So I appreciate you guys sticking in here with me, and I hope you guys did like this. I think We might do it next year, and I might be a little more prepared on some of the day 3 stuff. So that's going to be exciting. I hope you guys join us tomorrow. I think 7:45-ish. We'll go ahead and go live and start talking. The draft starts at 8 o'clock tomorrow. And we'll go live and we'll just give our analysis. Maybe some of you guys can come back and chat with me, on the live stream and ask some questions or give your own analysis on some of the picks as well. So that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I will see you tomorrow at 7:45. And it's draft time, baby. It's about 24 hours away until the draft. So hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.